Hello to all of my BPTV friends, Facebook friends, YouTube friends. I'm Alan Levine, the Talking Machine. I'm honored to be doing my 86th The Talking Machine show. I have another great guest. Will you please tell us your name?
Sean Sullivan, General Manager over at Live Casino Pittsburgh at the Westmoreland Mall, and an honor to be with you today.
My honor too. And like I said, I heard your name back in the Meadows because I've been there since 1974 when I turned 18. A good friend of mine told me, Alan, we can go bet horses and gamble. It's legal. So that's my history. So appreciate you. And I ask hard questions like, where were you born?
Well, of all things, I'm from the West Coast. I was born in Inglewood, California, in
I salute
1957.
you,
So
Cali guy. Yeah.
that's right. That's right. So I've been around a little bit. This is my 45th year in the casino business, and like you, have some fun stories and interesting history.
Yeah, we shared a few folks, but we only have 29 minutes and the clock's ticking now. So, where did you go to school then?
So forget about elementary school and middle school and high school, but that was all up in Northern California, Palo Alto and
Okay.
Fremont. But then I went to the University of Pacific in Stockton, California on an actual football scholarship.
What
And
position
just
did you play?
so I wanted to play fullback, which I played both ways in high school. And they said, you're too slow and you got no moves. So you're going to play linebacker. So I was a linebacker. And an interesting story, my roommate was Mike Merriweather, who ended up playing with the Steelers and
Yes.
having a heck of a career. Yeah.
What a small world, right?
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Well, just to interject, in 74, I was a starting center for Keystone Oaks. So,
Perfect.
yeah. So I played
Yeah. You
football
guys
too.
were,
And I hit a bunch of linebackers because I was pretty good and quick. So I'd hit a
yep.
lineman, and I didn't know it. I was an innocent kid at 17, and they go,
Yeah.
"You got to go to the next level." So me, I'd run through a brick wall. I'm hitting linebackers. so,
Yep. 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 Yeah. No,
so
listen,
what
I get
what
it. And
degree did you get at college?
so basically, business administration,
Okay,
which has been a good starting point for me.
right. No, that's good. And then, did you have any jobs in high school or anything?
Yeah, and that's what actually convinced me to go to college because every one of my summer jobs was something I could not see myself doing for the rest of my life, from
Well,
hot tar
Sean,
roofing.
you're a smart man. I understand
Yeah,
that.
believe me, they taught me very quickly that I didn't want to be out in the sun and breaking my back, so I stayed in college.
No, I appreciate it. And what did you do after college then?
So I started immediately working for Howard Hughes, if you can believe that, in 1980, right out of college. And we
You just
had
blew
a
me
number.
away because I read many books on him, saw him in movies and whatever else. That's awesome.
So he had passed away, but his brother or his nephew, Henry Lummis, the spitting image of Howard Hughes, was running the
Really?
company at that time. And he had the Sands, the Desert Inn, the Frontier, the Landmark, some of the old historic properties that don't exist anymore.
Right.
But I started then, and I've been doing it ever since.
Wow, what a start, Sean. I'm honored. That is great. Well, then I got to ask the question, how and when and why did you come, or questions come to Pittsburgh or our
Yeah,
area?
so yeah, well, I often think about that question, why? But I was working for a company in Vegas that ended up getting the license for the Meadows, and I was at their one of their sister properties in
Not
Las Vegas.
Ladbroke.
No, no, this was not those guys. This was Cannery Resorts,
Okay.
and they had some properties in Vegas, and I was running one of them. And they said, "We need you out in Pittsburgh area." And I said, "I don't want to go." And they said, "Well, you don't really get a choice. You need to go out there." And so I came out in 2007 to work
Okay.
on the opening of the Meadows, and then full time 2009, and I
Right.
haven't left really since.
Well, that's when they were open. So, yeah.
That's right.
No, I appreciate that. That was great, and I'm glad it saved the horse racing business because it's $1 billion industry in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
And some of the people there are five-generation horsemen and women.
Yep. There's a whole infrastructure, if you will, a whole industry that people think is just the racing aspect, but the breeders and the whole connection to agricultural and so on. So yeah, it affects and helps a lot of people for sure.
Yeah, I learned about different types of hay, alfalfa, timothy, and things like that. I got into it. I got a little geekish, but let's go to the gaming because I love the Meadows Casino, the size of it, the slot machines, the table games. And it's
Yeah.
just, to me, I've been to Vegas about 8 times in my life, and it
Yeah.
reminds me of a casino in Vegas. Is that true, Sean?
Yeah. And I'm hoping that you meant to say live casino and not the Meadows.
No, we're
But
going to say
I,
that now. We're saying
yeah,
that
yeah,
now
okay.
because you left them. Yeah.
That's right. So we sold the Meadows, and the Meadows was a great property, and I still miss the people there. And it's
Right.
different ownership now, but I have since moved over to Live Casino at the Westmoreland Mall,
I
and
heard that.
it's
Tell us about it a little. I'm curious.
so what they did, and they announced another category of casinos. One, two, and three were around. They said we're going to introduce category four, smaller casinos. So that's what we are. We fit into the category four. We took an old Bon-Ton retail establishment at the mall, gutted it,
Yes.
and turned it into a beautiful, intimate casino where the energy is palpable and the
Right.
excitement. And the people that both work here and visit here are Westmoreland County, primarily,
Right.
Hempfield Township, are wonderful people that provide exceptional service. I've been in some properties where service is a challenge.
Yeah.
Here, everybody's friendly, everybody knows each other, and it's really exciting. And you can come in here midweek and people are winning. You can come in here weekend and it's packed to the rafters. So
Well,
really an exciting concept.
hey, Sean, I'll interrupt a little. I'm not a Cali guy. I was
Yeah,
born here in Pittsburgh in our Hill District in the city,
sure.
1956. Grew up in the suburbs, and we have that blue collar mentality.
Yep,
And if you tell us we can't do something, we're going to do it. And we always
yep,
treat people right service wise. And we're always
yep,
saying, can we help you? So
yeah.
that
And that's
mentality's there. Got to brag a little bit. That's how we roll.
no, and I have to tell you, it is the difference. And by the way, you got me beat by 1 year, born in '57. But it is the difference. We all have slot machines. We all have table games. We all cook cheeseburgers. We all serve drinks. That's great, and you have to be good at that. But boy,
Yeah.
when it comes down to the rubber hits the road, it's the people that make our customers come back again and again.
Oh, yeah. And you're only like 30 miles away from Pittsburgh. So, we don't like to travel that far, but the Meadows is like 25 minutes from me in Bethel Park. Guess what?
Yeah,
We make that exception.
yeah. And by the way, we're going to chat a little bit about how do we get people from Pittsburgh and how do we keep people in Westmoreland County from going to Pittsburgh, and that's one of the events we'll chat about
Well,
momentarily.
that's what we're going to get to. And I appreciate your little tease being in media. So we'll get to it, but we'll find out, how did you get this job then? What happened?
People tell me all the time, I want to be a GM. And I say, well, I've been doing it 45 years. So it's a matter of hanging in there, to be honest with you.
Yes, sir.
Um, yeah, over time, they kind of say, well, gosh, dang, he's been around a long time. Let's give him a shot. But
Right.
this particular property, because of my familiarity with the market, with the Gaming Control Board, with the legislators, Kim Ward and the rest of them, it was kind of a natural for them to move me over when we sold the Meadows
That makes sense
and fit in.
because all of that is so important, as I found out in
Yeah,
my life, what you need to know.
you do. You have to have relationships, and by the way, a lot of our customers here were customers at Meadows because here it didn't exist, so they went to the Meadows.
Right.
Now we're here, and there's a familiarity with myself and a lot of them because they used to come visit me at the Meadows, and now they come 5 miles away to visit.
Hey, that's great. Who would think a Cali guy got Pittsburgh connections that run strong and deep? I salute
Believe
you.
me. Hey, there you go. Well, I listen. I'm not sure if they're that strong, but they are deep.
No, I appreciate a little bit of humor. So you got started. Now, how long have you been there?
So here I'm on my fifth year now.
Okay.
We opened in 2020, November. So
All
we're
right.
coming up on our fifth year anniversary.
Wow, this coincides with your event. This is something great.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
No, and I've heard about you guys, but I'm not a Westmoreland guy. I may have to make an exception now because I met you.
Yep, well, we got to get you out here in this Fight Fest weekend. Would be a great time for you to see us in a unique, larger scale behavior.
All right, let's get serious now why you're here. Thanks to
Yep,
Tom
yep,
Minert for getting you connected with me. We're friends from the Meadows days, and he's with you there. We only had
yep.
20 plus emails to get this straightened out. So let's talk about that date and how to get
Yep,
there. What's the date?
yep. So it's the July 11th and 12th, and it's referred to as the Fight Fest weekend, with "fest" being an operative word because it's
Okay.
more than just your typical fights. You know, people slugging each other and getting in the ring. We have 10, 20, 10 or 12 tattoo pop up tents. We have 15 food stations. We have vendors. We have a cigar. We have a beer garden. So it's a big spread out area with the feature being MMA fights on Friday night and boxing fights on Saturday night.
No, that's great. So you have a cage. Will you have a cage for the MMA fights and then a boxing ring?
Yes. So interestingly, they've developed a combo ring that is both. So when you have boxing, they take down the cage, same platform, same everything.
Right.
And when you have cage, you take out the boxing ring. But it's all in one unit that applies to whatever you're doing. So we have
No,
that.
I've heard about it because I did my MMA event last year. We rented a cage and I do boxing. Golden
Yeah.
Gloves, we did 23 championship fights last year. So I
Wow.
know the guys that bring in the, boxing rings and they had to
Yep.
readjust it at times because of all the fights. But it's so
Yep.
cool with how they develop these rings and cages.
Yep, all in one, and it just totally doesn't interrupt the whole layout. We're going to have 1,800 seats, but we don't have to change anything in the middle, which is the important part, including a truss system with a canopy over it required
Yeah,
by the
I'm
commission.
familiar with it because I had to film
You know,
mine, and I've been to
yeah,
other people that do that, and we've even done pro fights at the Meadows when they had the tent.
yeah,
So
yeah. No,
my co-host Smoking Jim Frazier and I do fights, and yeah, we did it then. It rained, so we had to delay it because there was rain that day. I don't know if you were
yeah.
around there. I think you might have been.
No,
And
I was. I actually put in that tent, and it was a great little vignette, but it wasn't the most sturdy event for rain. Uh,
well, when you're in like a bowl there, and you get
yep,
fog, you get wind, you get snow, you get
yeah,
everything, low temperatures, heat, you name it.
yeah,
We knew the tent wouldn't last. How was that? How's
yeah.
that?
That's right. We had our challenges, but they're still using it. I went to a box or no, an MMA event out there just a month ago, and they're still hanging in there and doing some things. Yep,
No, I was at a boxing event with a local group that I know and have done stuff with 3 months ago, and it's a great facility, Sean. It
yep,
really is super.
yep, yep. Well, we're going to outdo them because ours is going to be a bit larger and a little bit more pomp and circumstance. And our boxing promoter is Roy Jones. We mentioned him earlier. He's
Yeah.
put together a heck of a fight card. And then for MMA, we're using Extreme Fighting Championships, which is a well-known organization in the South. And again,
No,
a tremendous.
I've heard of them. Yes, I've heard of
Yeah,
them. And Tom teased me with maybe next week or something we can get Roy Jones on the Talking Machine show, a special edition, and do
yeah,
what we're doing with you, Sean, with Roy.
yeah. No, listen, I Roy has been a tremendous willing participant, and he's got skin in the game with the fighters. A lot of
Right.
these fighters are his, and then the more tickets sold, the more money he makes. So
No, and
he's out there.
that's great. and I know some of the trainers that he worked with from around this area and fought
Yeah.
here. And I never met him, but my co-host
Yeah.
Smoking Jim did events with him and knows him personally. So he's
Well, come
jealous of
out for the
me.
weekend, and he's going to be here and signing autographs, and you can spend some time talking to him in addition to the radio idea, TV idea.
That's a great tease.
That's
I'll have
right.
to think about it on the 11th or 12th. I may come out
Yep.
for the boxing. We'll have to see.
Perfect. Perfect. And
No,
we've
that'd be
got Paul
great.
Spatafora coming. We've got some celebrities I'm not ready to announce yet, but there are very
Okay.
recognizable folks coming. But Paul Spatafora, he'll
I'm
be here. He'll
personal
be signing
friends with
books.
Paul and have
Yep.
known him for years. And he knows who the Talking Machine is. And he's been at some of my
Yep.
shows. And when he's at boxing matches, you can hear his voice telling a fighter what to do.
Yep.
And he was one of the best, and he was a champ. And
Yep.
so I have the utmost respect. I would be happy to see him again.
Yeah.
No
He'll be
doubt. But
here both
thanks.
nights.
Yeah,
Yep.
no doubt. Hey, with all these food trucks, 15 food trucks, what kind of food are you going to have? We got to tease these people. My friends and fans and new friends are going to be watching this. Let's get them out to
Yeah.
Westmoreland.
The trick with the trucks is not make them competitive against each other. So we try to get a wide variety. And so we have even dessert sweets, right? A truck called Sweets. We have the ice, trucks. We had, the flavored ice. We
Yeah,
have
like
chicken. We
shaved
have beef,
ice and stuff like that.
shaved ice. Yeah.
See, I know
Um,
stuff here, Sean. I'll fill in the blanks.
please, because I need help. But we've got a different list of them. I don't have it right in front of me, but something for everybody, to be honest with you. Different
Okay.
tastes, So come out at 4 o'clock to experience the festival activities, and then the fights each night start at 7 o'clock.
Oh, that's
So
okay.
it's
That's great. No, that
yeah,
is
it-
super. So if you're hungry, they're going to have food and desserts for you. How am I doing with
yep,
that?
perfect. And there's obviously libations and entertainment, music, and as I mentioned, vendors,
Well,
craft fair vendors, everything.
no, that is great. Well, if you're over 21, you can have some of those libations with your card. And if you're under that, they'll have soft drinks, or as we call it in Pittsburgh, pop. They'll have
There you
pop
go.
and refreshments there.
That's right. And listen, you're 2 feet away from a casino, so if you're over 21, you can jump in and do all those fun activities, including going to our PBR Cowboy Bar at
Well,
8 o'clock.
I'll tell the people this because you got to watch with gambling. I've actually been gambling on horses since I was 18 years old, and these old timers taught me how to gamble. Just bring what you can afford to lose. And they
That's
even
right.
told me with a program, Sean, you'll like this. The program was 25 cents. They said, Al, go in the garbage after the second race, the daily double. You can get a program. There's no garbage in there, and you save 25 cents.
That's right. You
So
get it for
bring what
free.
you can afford to lose at Live Casino. How's that?
I love it. I love it, and I appreciate you shouting out for us. And we encourage people go online and they can buy tickets. We've got bleacher tickets. We got VIP seats, VIP tables. If you want to
Can you
sponsor,
tell any of the pricing? Because if I don't mention Live Casino a few times, then I'm remiss.
that's
So,
right. So I'll help you. So Live Casino, we're going to have bleacher
touche.
seats. That's right. We're going to have bleacher seats that are general admission, $50 a piece. And
Okay.
then we have VIP tables, which are $200, $250 seats. Or you can buy a table, and that one where Roy and Spatafor and other celebrities will come to your table. You'll have drink tickets and cocktail service at those. You'll receive autograph items from those guys. So it's a real VIP experience. And
No,
those are
I
25.
love the idea when you put VIP table seats, they're
Yep.
closer to the cage or ring, and the general
Yep.
admission is a little further back, but you have good views of all the action.
No
You'll just
doubt.
have a
That's the
better
place to
view,
be.
and you'll have a lot of nice people there with you that are legendary.
That's right. That's right. So it's worth the investment to have a great evening for
No,
sure.
that sounds good. And I know it took a lot of planning. How long ago did you start planning for this?
So we started a few months ago. I mean, and here's the other thing: we plan our whole summer. We do three outdoor events, and if you
Oh,
might have heard
okay.
that,
That's nice then. Yeah.
yeah, we did a rodeo one year, and that was quite entertaining. But this year we're going to do this on July 11th and 12th, the Fight Fest weekend,
Yeah.
followed by our fourth annual car cruise, which is August 3rd, and
Wow.
then
Fourth
followed by
annual car cruise. I got a lot of car cruise friends. We do some car cruises here in Bethel. Guess what?
okay,
I'll tell them to get out to you because ours is until August 31st. How's that?
perfect. Well, we'll
Bring your
get you the
cars to
information.
Live Casino. It's only
That's
a
right.
short trip of Westmoreland County. Come on.
Yeah, and we get 750 cars. So I mean, it's a big deal. When I was at the Meadows, we do them around the racetrack. Here we do them in the parking lot, and we get close to 700, 750 cars each year. So it's a
Sean,
big
that is
event.
great. I remember
Yeah,
the ones at the Meadows. I loved it
yeah,
there. Yeah,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
great.
Those were fun. And then our
It's
third event this year will be September 27th, and it's going to be an Italian food festival. So we're going to work with all the
whoa.
Italian restaurants and so on and so on. It'll be a big shindig as well.
Well, guess what? Anybody watching this, if you're not going to Live Casino, you don't know what's going on in Westmoreland County. Get there.
There you go. I agree with you, and there is a lot going on, and we have first rate events. Our events are exciting and they're well executed, and we encourage everybody to come out and give us a look.
No, it sounds great. Then I got to tease the people with the casino. How many slot machines do you have?
So the category four, which is the smaller casinos, we can only have 750,
Right,
which, by the way, is plenty, for this area. Um, and what happens with 750, they're always busy, and
right,
that means they're always getting play, and that means they're always hitting jackpots and paying out. So that's a good number. And then we
right.
have 40 table games. We can have up to
Okay,
40 table games. Yeah. So
nice.
we have a couple of restaurants, Sports and Social, Guy Fieri's. We've got PBR, Cowboy Bar, a big
Okay.
venue where we can do 500 people. We have Carlos Mencia coming up, a comic.
Oh, get
Uh,
out. That's great.
yeah, so we're always trying to stay busy and provide entertainment for our visitors, for sure.
No, that's good. And do you offer any free play or any incentives there? Because I'm trying to get them, I want them coming out
Yep,
again to you at
yeah,
Live
we encourage
Casino.
it. Yeah. So, as you mentioned, I mean, so casinos build these frequent flyer programs, basically, like airlines. And if you join our club, we market to you, we extend free play to you, um, direct bets on table games. We
Okay.
give you entry into our promotions. We have $1 million promotion starting in July where you can win $1 million.
Well, you got
Um,
me interested now, Sean. I
yeah,
might
that's
have to
right.
make a trip out on the 11th and the 12th. Come on.
So the first prize is $1 million. The second prize is 100,000, and then there's smaller prizes after that. But it's a big deal for us, and we want to be real strong this summer with that promotion. So we're
All
doing
right.
a big.
No, no, that's great. I got questions. Can they go on livecasino.com and
Yeah,
apply?
livecasino.com will get you there. We're specifically known as Live Casino Pittsburgh, but we're not in Pittsburgh, so we don't use that as much. But yeah,
Well,
Live Casino.
that shows your good sense because
That's
people
right.
they go, why aren't you downtown?
That's right. That's right. So we kind of abandoned that to a degree. But yeah, go check us out. We have casinos in Philadelphia. We have casinos in Bossier, Louisiana, in
Okay.
Maryland. We're getting ready to open a $1.4 billion project in Virginia.
No
So the
way.
company,
Wow.
yeah, the company's growing and they're popping up everywhere. So if you're in our club and you're a player, you can go to those properties and enjoy their amenities as well.
Hey, they can take a little vacation, stay in your hotel. Do you have
That's
a
right.
hotel with this casino?
So we don't have one yet, but we're working real hard on getting one established with the community. But we have nearby hotels, whether it's a Hampton Inn or Marriott Courtyard, all those are around,
Yeah,
and we
I'm,
put
I'm
our guests
trying.
there.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it enticing to everybody. Now, you have a parking lot. How many cars can fit in the parking lot, and is it
So
free or do you have to pay or?
no, we don't charge anybody. And part of the moving into the mall campus, there's an abundance of surface parking, and we have a 3-story garage that connects from that garage to our second floor, the venue and the PBR and the sports and social bar. So yeah, you'll never be out of parking.
Hey, you're teasing me with what I know at the Meadows. They didn't have a hotel there, then they put a parlay lounge, and they have a
Yep.
hotel that connects to go directly through their parking lot and go gamble. So I know
Yeah,
that at
we
the
put that
Meadows
in
it
when we
sounds
were there.
similar.
Yeah, we put in a Hyatt Place there, and that actually helped out quite a bit. But yeah, in fact, we added a second parking garage after we opened as well because they needed that. But yeah, there's no question. Meadows is still a great place, just not as good as this.
Well, I'm just trying to take them out of their comfort zone with live casino. I think we tease them enough there. And what I want to tell people that they must be doing very well to put a parking lot and other things there and plan on a
Yeah,
hotel. Guess what? If you're
yeah,
not making money, you're not going to do that. So stop on
that's
out at
right.
Live Casino on the 11th and 12th of July.
That's right. Well, we appreciate that.
Well, we're winding down a little bit in the last couple minutes of a show. I'd like you to tell people how they could do something similar like you and what you've done in your life and what you're doing now at 45 years in. So if you can
Yeah.
inspire them with some words of wisdom, my other guests, I put them on the spot and I keep talking to let you think about it for a couple seconds.
Yeah, so I don't think too deeply about it, but I think the word tenacity comes to mind. I mean, you've got to be uh, strong to go through some of the challenges that you'll come into because we all do.
Understood.
I think you need to be a leader in the sense of your team has to respect you, and you have to be committed to your team members or employees. Um, but I started out as a market analyst, and
Okay.
I sat behind a cubicle and pounded out numbers and really got an understanding of the inner working of the properties. And this was before computers and before cell phones and everything
Right,
else.
right. You were truly on the ground floor, Sean, right?
That's right. That's right. So it goes back, and my wife always tells me nobody's really interested in that, but uh, it didn't happen overnight. It was continually supporting my leaders and continually being mentored by them,
Yeah.
respecting them, and when doors opened, I jumped in. I didn't hesitate. If they said you need to move to Timbuktu, I moved to Timbuktu.
Yeah.
Um, and I think if they see that spark in you and they see that willingness, it'll work out. And I'm not sure if everybody wants a 45-year career in the experience in the casino business, but
Right.
that's my journey. Yeah,
No, no, I understand it. And doing a sports show on BPTV, Pittsburgh Sports Line, for 14 years and being in a sports family, you
yep,
are the epitome of what I tell people to put their kids into sports.
yeah,
You
yeah,
learn to win, you learn to lose, you learn skills, you learn how to handle other people, different people, men
yep,
and women, and you got to work as a team to do it. And you have the linebacker tenacity that I knew with my friends as linebackers. So look
yeah,
what it did for Sean Sullivan at Live Casino. I'm proud
yeah.
to know
There
you
you go.
there, brother.
Well, good to regroup with you, and I have to tell you this is just the last color story. This last weekend, I was in
Okay.
San Francisco at a high school wrestling reunion, if you can believe
Whoa.
that,
Yeah.
which was entertaining. But I do encourage everybody, and we appreciate you for supporting us. But go to fightfestlive.com, and you'll get a whole introduction to what's happening, along with the ability to buy tickets.
All right, check it out. Sean, I want to thank you and Live Casino for being a great guest here. Hey, see you all next time. Thank you again, Sean.